you, Mark. The 5-second board being held up because they run on road tyres. They don't have to have a green flag lap. So the red lights come on and the lights go out, and well, the best away is James Gunn Carter initially, but then the rear engine or mid-engine Lotus of James Tucker gets its grip, but they're still side by side as they head down into Redgate. They're still level, the BMW on the inside line, and James Gunn Carter it is who has the advantage with the Lotus, the more nimble, and sliding sideways in the middle of the, not in the middle of the pack, in fact in third place. Eventually somebody biffs him, but hopefully the two, there's kind of a multicoloured chicane now in the middle of Redgate as cars are sifting their way past. It was a spinner, a red car that was it was the parking car that won the previous race that spun sideways. Right, so whilst that sorts itself out, Mark, we'll go back for the final podium.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we'll move on with the podium for Class S very quickly then. Onto the podium, well done. It was not a race without the odd issues along the way, but third place still in Class S goes away with Steve Gales. Is he here? He's not here, right, okay. So we'll quickly press on then with the second place driver pairing in Class S. That was Hugh Gurney and Colin Tester. Well done, gentlemen, as they make their way onto the podium, finishing as the runners-up in Class S. But the overall race winner and the win in Class S goes the way of Darren Goes, who heads onto the podium now as our final driver from the MSVT Super Cup to receive his trophy from Simon. Back to you, Ian.
No, you can have a word with Darren because we're going in a safety car situation, obviously.
Okay. So,
yes, the man with the flags got the green flag in his hand. The pace car peels into the pit lane and racing can resume. Let's hope they all get round Redgate okay this time. The two leaders then pulling out a gap already over the pursuing pack. And the BMW quicker into the corner. And the Lotus, as you might expect, quicker through the corner, closes the gap down so they're nose to tail as they go into the Craner curves. I think everyone will be suitably circumspect as they go into Hollywood. What about the two leaders? Here they are at the old hairpin, I can see on the screen. And I think that James Gunn Carter is just about fending off the Lotus as they turn through Schwantz curve. He had to work hard to do it coming out of the old hairpin. Now going through McLean's. I think it's only a matter of time before the Lotus takes the lead. But James Gunn Carter, who's going solo, where of course James Tucker is handing over. Nose to tail as they come out of Coppice onto the exhibition centre straight. And into the chicane. It's still the BMW in front, and James Gunn Carter in the middle of the road now, so he can move left or right depending on which way the Lotus tries to go to take the lead, but he doesn't have to worry about it this time. He just take the quickest line into the corner. That's where the car's quicker than on turn-in, but as they get through the corner, the superior road holding of the Lotus enables it to close up. In third place we've got Jordan Honeybone. No changes of position actually happening here. In fourth place is 93 Denslow. In fifth place 30 Richter. Sixth place is 34. Sixth place number 34, which was started by Tim Evans. And in 116 in 10th place, that's the car we've seen out already in the Trackday Championship race, Sam Gay is running in 10th place. That's the car that Colin Tester will be taking over when he's had a lie down after his efforts in the previous race. So James Gunn Carter in the BMW led on to this sixth lap and still has the lead, doing a great job here fending off the Lotus. Jordan Honeybone still third, with riding right behind him, number 90. Now, 93, I mean, that's the number 93 car of Lewis Denslow, the Big Skids Racing Team car, which I think is probably the same car that we saw going so well up into second place of Kester Cook in the earlier race. Mark might be able to check this one out. Certainly looks like the same car, same livery, same team. Just two different drivers in it for this one. And that car going well. That's number 93 in 4th place. Dylan Brickton, number 13, is 5th. 6th is 34, Tim Evans. 7th place is 57, Nick White's Renault Clio. In 8th place, number 126, Cameron McLean. 9th is George Wright's Porsche, and 10th is 116, Sam Gay with the Honda Civic. Hoping to see who is gaining significant numbers of places. Well, up to 20th place has come 98, that's again for a couple of places. Charlie Palk with the Renault 182, Renault Clio 182. 39 has dropped down to the tail end of the field now. That's the red Toyota MR2, or Mr. 2 as the program has it, with Malcolm Scott and Ben Cater. Through have gone the leaders. And certainly James Gunn Carter is holding his own at the moment. Just had another new fastest lap. He's got a lead of 1.1 seconds over the Lotus of James Tucker. The group going through their 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, running close together. In 11th place at number 82, Paul Hatton with the FAT Racing Team Ford Focus. Should I say PHAT Racing, FAT Racing, whichever. Good to see the Peugeot 205 is out, number 28, which disappeared into the paddock quite early on in qualifying. That's the oldest car in the race, the 1990. Peugeot 205 at Blair Craig. But now we've got to the point where, such is the size of the entry and the speed of the different types of car, that we now have cars spaced out around the circuit. Drive-through penalty for 2 cars, 39 and 59. 39 is Malcolm Scott, and 59 is Kev Bird. This is for flag infringement. I suspect that they overtook under a yellow flag. Right, on that lap, the gap's come down again, first to second. James Tucker has closed in on James Gunn Carter. Maybe a consequence of the back marker that had to be let. The pit window is now open, and the first car in is the blue Porsche, the 944 Series 2. George Wright to hand over to son Jack.
Yeah, Jack was the quicker of the 2 drivers generally, but didn't really have the opportunity to show that in qualifying. Such were the problems with what they originally thought was gearbox. But again, chatting to Jack when he brought the team kit into the pit lane prior to the start of the race, it was actually a drive shaft issue with that car. It's not the only car to pit though, because in comes car number 199 as well, Gary Cooper at the wheel of his Fiesta ST. So they're the only 2 for the moment that are in the pit lane.
Yeah, so early stoppers can do it. Well, George Wright has got a lot of experience of these races, and reckon you get in early before everybody else comes into the pit lane, you don't get impeded, so he'll be able to send Jack out into the race. Well down the order, yes, but with no need to stop again. Where you get caught out is if we have to have a safety car situation, but hopefully that won't arise. We've had our safety car. So 39 and 59 having to take drive-through penalties. But as Mark says, very few cars coming into the pits at the moment. There's 116 through. Dylan Brickton is in the middle of a little battle with 2 cars that have just changed place. Up into 7th place has come number 57, Nick White, and down to 8th has dropped number 126, Cameron McLean. The Toyota MR2, which has a drive-through penalty, has come in as well, but you can't combine a penalty stop with a mandatory stop, so he's going to have to do it again. Of course, being a single-seater racer, he hasn't encountered this sort of thing before. Malcolm Scott. Anyway, he's climbing out of the car. Doesn't look as though he's about to go out again. 24, the little Peugeot, that's the Ford Fiesta in number 24, Alex Bowman. James Gunn Carter still hanging on in the lead by less than half a second last time through. And and he's now lost the lead. The number 2, James Tucker, Lotus Elise, is now in front. Well, that was a consequence of traffic, but whatever. It's now a swap around for the 2 Jameses in the first 2 places. Yes, Mark?
Yeah, Jack Wright heads out onto the circuit, the wheel of the Porsche that had its drive shaft woes in qualifying, but that's not the only issues you've had throughout the course of the day with the Porsche, George.
No, it gets better or worse, as I should say. Yeah, fuel gauge isn't working, so we lifted the sender unit out, seemed to be overflowing, so we thought that'll do, we'll just go out with that. Didn't cotton on, we hadn't put any fuel in it since last year at Zandvoort.
That's not good, is it?
Well, I think maybe the Christmas present from my wife might have been fuel or something, but turns out it must have been a pocket of fuel for the sender, and we're now about to run it dry. And we got up to 6th place, and it was going well, except for the fuel stage.
So he's just going to run it until it runs out?
Well, I came in as soon as the pits is up, because Jack's had a 2-hour drive down here to get a bit of seat time. So I got in as soon as I could and just sent him out, bless him.
It might be a difficult journey home. You're sharing the car home together, you're not, are you?
No, thankfully.
There we go. Thanks for the update, George. So yeah, problems still existing with the Porsche, I suspect, and it might not see the checkered flag here.
Well, that's the best reason I've heard for coming in early, because you want your other driver to at least drive the car before it runs out of fuel. So it's gone through anyway. He's got 1 lap in. This is the blue Porsche with a pair of orange wheels and a pair of yellow wheels. And into the pits comes the 56. The number 56 Ford Fiesta. Chris Walton school to hand over to Will Arif, presumably. So James Tucker having taken the lead. The Lotus Elise, we've got the car that's Colin Tucker's going to take over, coming in. Colin Tester, I mean.
Yeah, Dylan Brichter is coming in. Colin Tester is about to take over that car from Sam Gay. And as for the expected change of driver, Chris Walton Sport to Will Arif, I think he was actually serving his drive-through penalty at that point, because Will was waving him down. But no, Chris had other ideas and just went all the way through pit lane, back out into the race. So yeah, Sam Gay in to hand over to Colin Tester. Dylan Brichter in at the wheel of the sole remaining Seat Ibiza.
But the leader is in fact the Lotus number 2, James Tucker. Next up in number 30, then we've got 126. So the Lotus has dropped down to 5th place, I reckon, of those who've made their stops. But we'll have a better idea next time through. The safety car has got its lights out, so it's coming into the pit lane. And racing can resume, and straight away 93 comes in. Strange. Why didn't stop under the safety car? With some cunning plan, presumably. Anyway, the pack is descending on Redgate, exchanging paint, some of them. But I think they're all going to get safely through. Mark, you've got 93 there.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, I just had a quick chat to Kester Cook. It is indeed his car. It is the same car as earlier on. So the driver change just taking place now. So Lewis Denslow gets out of the car, and Craig Sampson is just about to be pushed into this car. And of course they probably picked the wrong time, haven't they, just as the race goes green again, to come into the pits, and that's going to compromise the run of that car for the rest of the race.
Well, we'll see how long the stop. Yeah, they're going to be past it because the safety car, I just can't see why they left it that late. So next time through we'll get a clear impression of who the real leader is. And we have 16.5 minutes to go. There's quite a lot of shuffling of positions going on down at Redgate on the restart. And it is the BMW number 4, James Gunn Carter, that leads by quite a lot, actually. Ray Honeybone in pursuit. And then we've got Dylan Brichter in 4th place. Now, what this does actually is put them on the same lap so they haven't yet got the lead. So it could be this ploy is going to work for them, because if that car gets out, it's going to be leading. So the cunning plan may actually work. They've thought it through more than I have. So James Gunn Carter is in fact in 2nd place, but now on the same lap as the number 93. Now Craig Sampson, Ford Fiesta. And James Gunn Carter is quite a long way back. Get a better fix on that next time through. And with only 15 minutes to go, I reckon the ploy's worked. Here it comes. And the gap first to second, 93 to 4. No, it doesn't work. No, I was misreading the screen. So James Gunn Carter has actually taken the lead, and my first thoughts, without looking at the screen too carefully, was that James Gunn Carter would have the lead, and he has, and 93 is dropping down the order. So James Gunn Carter leads from Ray Honeybone by 4.5, nearly 5 seconds. Dylan Brickton, number 13, is third. Fourth is 1:26 Cameron McLean. Fifth is 1:16 now Colin Tester. Sixth is the number 2 Lotus, now driven by Paul Tucker. And 7th is 77, the Volkswagen Golf of Jamie Ward. In 8th place is number 107, now driven, still driven by Ben Corby. In 9th place, number 31, Howard Hunt. And in 10th place, number 57, Nick White.
Well, now you've got through the top 10, I'll grab a quick word with Lewis Denslow, who has been driving Kester Cook's car for the first time. We've seen you out in a Ford Fiesta in the past, but this one's a little different, I gather.
It is a lot different, unfortunately. It's still going around, that's the difference. The yellow one's parked on the side of the track, unfortunately. But it's a huge different car, completely different discipline. The turbo's got so much power and torque everywhere, and the gear changes instantly. It's fantastic.
It's sequential, isn't it?
It is, yeah, I want one.
It seemed as though you sort of, tactically, you left it too late to come into the pits, but that was always the plan, I gather, 50-50.
No, we're sharing the drive today, so win or lose, it was going to be 50-50. Yeah, as much as I can say, really.
A bit of fun today. You've sold your old car, so are you building a new one, or are you just going to be utilising Kesters for the rest of the year?
No, I'm currently, it's actually at the roll cage shop right now, having a roll cage welded into it, intercoolers and radiators and all sorts of cool gadgets added to it, but should be back to be a Mark 3 full Focus.
Look forward to seeing that.
Top man, thank you very much.
There we go, that's the update on the number 93 car. Same as driven by Kester Cook earlier on. We've just spoken to Lewis Denslow. It's now in the hands of Craig Sampson.
In 21st place it is. So the tactic didn't work. Up into 15th place, the only mover on that lap, number 117. Charles Harvey's Honda Civic, that's come up into, as I say, 15th place. Otherwise, no change. And the man who said he'd just be happy with a position near the front is pulling away in front James Gunn Carter in the number 4 BMW. Now 6.3 seconds ahead of Ray Honeybone in number 44. With number 13, Dylan Brichter's Seat Ether in third place. There's the leader through, completing now 18 laps. The 2 cars behind him have been lapped. And in fact, the number 13 Seat now up into second place, got ahead of Ray Honeybone. Cameron McLean still fourth. Fifth, up into gaining a place on that lap, into fifth place, number 2, Paul Tucker. One who's dropped back on that lap, number 31. Howard Hunt with his MG ZS. He's dropped back to 10th place. So it's first number 4 by 7.8 seconds now from number 13, Dylan Brichter. Third is 44, Ray Honeybone. Fourth is 116, Colin Tester. Fifth is 126, Cameron McLean. Sixth is number 2, Paul Tucker. Seventh is 77, Jamie Ward. Eighth is 107, Ben Corby. Ninth is 57, Nick White. And 10th, number 31, Howard Hunt. Drive-through penalty for car 28. Blair Craig's Peugeot 205 for a flag infringement. But that car's a long way down the order anyway, so it's not going to affect the front places. He's down in 24th place at the moment. Leader's gone through. Here's Dylan Brichter getting away from the... It's a bit of a smoky diesel, that one, going through in second place, Dylan Brichter. Ray Honeybone now ahead of Cameron McLean, James Tucker, Paul Tucker. Oh, we've got a car with a non-functioning transponder, so the order then after Ray Honeybone, we've got in 4th place number 126 Cameron McLean, in 5th place 116 Sam Gay, and in 6th place number 2 Paul Tucker. 7th up to 7th has come Howard Hunt, number 57. Sorry, 57 is Nick White. Up to 7th has come 57 Nick White. In 8th place is 77 Jamie Ward, who's lost a place, and 9th is number 107, who's also lost a place, Ben Corby. 10th is 31 Howard Hunt still. And Jack Wright is, well, it must be very low on fuel, that car, therefore very light, but Jack Wright has clambered up to 11th place, number 68 ahead of 52, the Honda Civic of Stephen McDonald. Coming in to take its drive-through penalty is car number 28, which is correct in the programme but wrong on the some other sheet that says it's 206, that's 205 certainly. Taking its drive-through penalty. James Gunn Carter's gone through, completing now 20 laps, 9 minutes to go. Dylan Richter 11.6 seconds behind, lapping about a second and a half, nearly 2 seconds, sometimes slower than the leader. And the Lotus Elise, that was a leader of course at one stage, Paul Tucker's now moved up into 5th place, number 2, ahead of Sam Gay in the 116 Honda. Another change, Jack Wright's moved up into 10th place now, so he's going to the top there. He's moved ahead of Howard Hunt in the number 31 MGZS. And he has ground to make up before he gets another place or two before the end, which could be done with that car, providing it doesn't run out of fuel. As for Paul Tucker in the Lotus Elise, yes, he should get another place or two. He's got less than a second to make up on the next 2 or 3 cars ahead of him. So he might even make it to the podium. Slightly optimistic, but he could do it in the number 2 car. The Elise in 5th place at the moment. But at the moment, 3rd place occupied by Ray Honeybone, number 44. Side by side there, Sam Gay and Paul Tucker. Paul Tucker has to tuck in behind, so the Honda's got ahead as they go into Redgate. Quick group of cars there, of course, expected to be there in 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th place. In fact, they're closing up on Dylan Richter as well, so although the leader may be decided in favour of James Gunn Carter as the winner, behind him it is still very close indeed. Jack Wright, as I mentioned, in 9th place now. He's got a second to make up, and he's lapping it a second quicker than on the 8th place car, which is number 77, Jamie Ward's Ford Fiesta. James Gunn Carter 12.4 seconds ahead now, Dylan Richter and his followers. Number 93 through, is down in 22nd place now. Car that was leading behind the safety car, Craig Sampson's car, as it is now. Leader's gone through. Here's the next train of cars, with Dylan Richter under pressure from Ray Honeybone, but defends going into Redgate to keep Ray Honeybone behind him. Behind Ray Honeybone we've got Cameron McLean in the blue Renault Clio. Then Paul Tucker in the Lotus, back ahead of Sam Gay in the Honda Civic. So any 2 of those 5 cars could be joining James Gunn Carter on the podium at the end. The class leaders, well, Class B is led by number 4, the leader of the race. Class C at the moment by 126, with only just Cameron McLean ahead of Paul Tucker. Class D is led by number 77, so looking for another class win, Jamie Ward. Class N is headed by 52. Stephen McDonald's onto Civic Type R. That covers all the classes. James Gunn Carter through, 23 laps completed. And we have 5 minutes to go. Here comes the line of cars in amongst some slower traffic. And the order remains unchanged, although the traffic mixed it all up a bit. There's the Porsche through, now Jack Wright up into 8th place. He's got, now this is where it gets a bit more difficult. He's 5.6 seconds behind the 7th place car, which is the number 57. Nick White Renault Clio, which is lapping, in fact, quicker than Jack Wright. So I think Jack Wright has probably reached his peak, 8th place. Don't see that car doing better than that on the basis of their last lap times, or indeed on the basis of their best lap times. Two clears, having a good little scrap there, 72 and 98 on different laps. And with the tailgate open, into the pits comes number 97. The Michael Jones, now Robert Jones, Square Foot Racing Mini, say JCW. It has been known for cars to carry on racing with the tailgate up, but it's a bit of an air brake. And his co-driver is trying to shut the tailgate, which doesn't want to know, it seems. Now this time through, Sam Gay has moved up into 4th place, and I think probably because he's running out of fuel, Jack Wright comes into the pits.
Yeah, it wasn't not unexpected, was it? The number 97 Mini back out with the boots now closed, but yeah, Jack Wright, who is towards pit lane entry. I just walked all the way down to pit lane exit, ready for the podium, into the pit lane, and also the Peugeot 205 of Craig is also heading down pit road.
For the second lap in succession, I think, because I saw that car and I mentioned it a couple of laps ago. Yeah, so the Porsche, I think, it's got as high up the order as it could get. And so he's had a bit of fun in it, made the journey to Donington Park worthwhile. Right, so James Gunn Carter, got 2.5 minutes to go. James Gunn Carter leads by still over 12 seconds from Dylan Brick to Ray Honeybow. Last time through, Sam Gay was 4th. 5th was Nick White, number 57, who's made good progress. 6th, number 2, Paul Tucker in the Lotus Elise, and 7th, 52, Stephen McDonald. Dylan Brichter's car getting smokier and smokier, which possibly deters Ray Honeyburn from getting too close to it, that car dishing out the particulates.